let okay ครับ so back to eeny meeny miny mo eeny meeny miny mo catch a tiger by the toe if I die before I wake did the done the done to make Kushi you up okay ครับ let's take about 5 minutes
So like as climate change has become more evident in the past years,
you can
I
share
want
screen
to
you can share screen if you like นัดเปิดให้น้องเขาแชร์ได้หรอ
it's just a speech, like a
Oh,
1
okay,
minute speech.
fine. So you don't have like a PowerPoint or anything, no?
No.
What about research list paper you've been reading? You can put that up on the screen if you like. Okay, I don't want to put you on the spot, but okay.
I don't really have that.
Okay, next person have something on screen that we can share. We can look at. Okay, Kap, but Kushi, go ahead. You're the first, so you give you benefit of it.
So I want to apply
sorry,
emerging.
Final comment. When I say presentation, doesn't matter. You know, nobody's going to tell you in real life. I want you to present and therefore bring some kind of visual aids or something. Okay, it's a given. It's a given. So be prepared for that. So if you go to a job interview, even if they don't ask for your portfolio, you bring it with you. Okay. So when you go to a job interview, you say, "Well, I haven't got it here. That's not good. That's not good." So over prepare. Bring everything. Good. Okay, Kap. Sorry. Go.
Okay, so like as climate change has become more evident in the past years, I want to apply emerging technologies to solve the climate change challenges, specifically in the agricultural sector. I'm worried that the rise of carbon in the atmosphere and increase in temperature can potentially have a huge impact on forests. As such, I want to use the synthetic aperture radar satellite to monitor different forests for the carbon volumes.
I like that. See, I'm getting goosebumps. Very good. Very good. Very good. By the way, do you guys have Netflix? You guys have Netflix? There's a good documentary, by the way, that I can't remember what the name is, but it's about how the meat industry, basically, if you watch this thing for 2 hours, you will stop eating beef. You definitely stop eating beef. Or you would think about it, okay? Because beef is one of the most unsustainable food source, okay? You've known from the long time, okay? Fish swim in the water, right? Yeah, cowspiracy, excellent. That's it, cowspiracy. What's that? Shinagrit, where are you? Where's Shinagrit?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Cowspiracy. You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
and I think that's one for like marine animal too, like for the fish. I forgot what is that name for.
The seaspiracy.
Yeah, seaspiracy.
Seaspiracy and cowspiracy.
Oh.
But yeah, watch both of them. I watched cowspiracy first, I think. But you know, fish doesn't have to carry its own weight because it's self-supported. So it doesn't take that much energy. So maybe a pound of feed will get you a bit less than a pound of fish. Okay. Chicken is a bit, you know, maybe you get 2 or 3 pounds of feed to get a pound of chicken. But beef, huge. Not only in terms of actually food. Okay, that's number one. That's direct cost, right? The other direct one is water. Okay, but water is not only direct. The cow doesn't drink that much, but the water needed to basically grow grass for cow to eat. That takes up tremendous amount of water. Okay, because after all, grassland evaporates quickly, right? It's not like a rainforest, right? You take a glass of water, you go in the middle of a jungle, you leave it there, it'll still be there in the morning. Okay, you take it in the middle of the cattle farm, it'll be gone in 10 minutes. Okay, so grassland use a lot of tremendous amount of water, and cow, you know what cows do, right? When they go poot. Well, we do that too. Well, flatulence or fart, basically, cow farts. Cow fart has a lot of methane. Methane is a lot more potent than carbon dioxide. Okay, to be honest with you, I'm glad that everybody is turning against diesel engine car or gasoline. We go EV and all that, blah blah blah. But you know, until we eat less meat, I don't mean, you know, give up meat for religious or anything, but Americans eat too much meat. Now, Americans eat too much meat. Chinese people wanted to eat too much meat, but 50 years ago, they couldn't afford. Now they can. Okay, now they can. So if imagine the number of people in China trying to eat as much beef as people in America, how many cows are you going to take, right? This is very difficult. So, but anyway, to get back to your thing, your LiDAR. Yeah, LiDAR is SAR, a synthetic aperture radar, is extremely good. Now, let me point you to the Earth Observatory. I don't know if I pointed to you last time. Have you gone see it? Yeah. NASA has curated Earth Observatory data. Beautiful, wonderful, very in-depth. Now, if it does not cover a lot of Thailand, then it's okay. Okay, I might occasionally send you some picture, sorry, some paper that has to do with this application of, you know, AI and stuff about. So you can take like radar image, and at the very simplest task is to say how much of a farmland there is. Okay, so you can take a, for example, picture radar picture of the whole state of Iowa and see how much of it, how many percentage of it is devoted to corn, right? And so that's kind of like counting area. Deeper than that, you can say, well, within an area, you're not trying to calculate the area, you're trying to break down into healthy and not so healthy. You do that with rainforest. I would love, I mean, you know, love you already for picking that idea up. But if you can focus on mangrove, boy, that I would just be thrilled. Okay, mangrove is a little bit understudied. I think rainforest gets a lot more research time. That's just my impression. I haven't done the survey, but I think mangrove is tremendously important for Thailand and the world. Okay, but it's not getting as much attention as rainforest, I think. Okay, so mangrove is if you can, but that, you know, I'm already super happy that you're picking this topic. Okay. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe, teach a tiger fall asleep. Okay. Shayanan, you up.
Yes.
There's an echo thing going on.
Sorry, can you hear me properly now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Let me share my screen first.
Good.
So basically what I'm interested is the blockchain inventory management. So in many business, in the B2B business, factory have issues in managing their stocks and counting their stocks. So basically what I'm trying to achieve is using blockchain to track all the supplies and stock for these factories. And also there's other things we can do in a blockchain as well. For example, like we can using blockchain and machine learning to forecast whether we should include the supply stocks more, so it doesn't affect the whole production chain. So something like that.
Okay. What is the blockchain going to give advantage? Was it in terms of secrecy, in terms of traceability, or, you know, because you can just have a regular record, that's the inventory management. What angle, what about blockchain is going to give you an edge?
In my opinion right now, based on my understanding, I think blockchain gonna give you the, first of all, transparency of how you track the record, since if you do it humanly, we can go back and change the orders.
Okay, good.
And
so it's immutable and you cannot corrupt it, basically, right?
Yes, it is
Very
immutable.
Excellent. Okay, Kap. You know what? Let's go brief quickly so we can get everybody in, because next week I just look at the schedule. Dr. Tana will come in, so we won't have time to. Okay. I'm just gonna go down the line now because Shinagrit. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you're up.
Yeah, so my plan for the project so my plan for the project is I want to try use computer. Wait, let me share the screen.
Yeah.
It might help a bit. I don't have the slide, but I think this might help. So my idea is I'm interested in like transportation industry, so I would like to try something new. I want to try create like computer vision to like create simulation for like an area like a footpath or like around traffic light to see the behavior of Thai like Thai people. Yes, because like there are a lot of studies in US or many places, but I don't think there are like an official one from Thai from Thailand yet.
It sounds like this is a very interesting. You know, this project, if done well, is even good enough for my big data analytics class. You know, it looks like. Okay. But anyway, how are you in terms of like a programming background? Are you pretty good with in this case, I would suggest either mathematical or Python. Probably Python might be even easy. Are you pretty good? Okay. There's a community of user of what's called OpenCV set. It's a library of that does this kind of visual segmentation recognition. It's called OpenCV. CV, like I don't know. You aware of that? You know.
I'm kind of like I don't have any background from technology side, but this is my idea. I think I gonna take time to study and learn more.
For this class, you know, you certainly don't have to program yourself. You may do some kind of like a technology survey, because after all, you know, that's what this class is about. So you can start on technology survey, and certainly if you take big data analytics, you can develop the software, you can write the software. Okay, but let me just
maybe
go ahead. Sorry.
An action plan with like some market research, is that gonna be enough for this class?
Yeah, sure.
On the use of this technology in Thailand and what impact the society.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't expect you to turn in like your own codes or anything. That's a little bit. But certainly do go into the community, open AI, opens CV. If you get ambitious, you can go to DeepMind. There's a lot of resource there, all kinds of stuff you can do. But in this case, you can sort of like be more, let's say, quote unquote, recklessly imaginative, right? You can say, well, what if I had this technology? And then you go and say, is this technology mature enough? And yet you don't have to go and implement all the details, right? You just say that just enough so I can say, whatever you want to do, is it doable today, in 5 years, or 5 years ago? You know, that sort of thing. You should have enough of a technology survey content in your student, in your term project, to be able to tell me or tell you, okay, whatever you want to do, is it something that's practically taken for granted, but maybe in Seattle, but not in Bangkok? Or even in Seattle, it's still a challenge because they still have issue with overcast day or whatever. I don't, something like that. Okay. So you can do a lot. Excellent.
Thank you.
Very good. Cap. Okay. Pawat Cap.
Can I share the screen?
Yes, please.
Okay. So like I think I'm interested in some. So the problem here that I find is I think like people nowadays have like very limited or like kind of like distorted view of the world. Because I think like we are of like the world around us, because we I think we are like a small pebble like in among the others. So because we are born in and like grow up in a certain environment that build us and shape us in the way that in some way. And so what I think is I will apply like emerging technologies to to kind of like simulate like real world experiences. So we are just like a brick, but if we put together, we could like go into like to be something useful. And so here is one idea. So like I might do like some form of a video game, a 2D game that kind of like strengthening the connection with nature, and also like adding the perspective to the players, and also like this will include like kind of like satellite image AR and VR technology to kind of like incorporate to create like a maps for the players that can like pick the location and in the future, if I have like the data about all the if I can like combine the data from both the local users in each of the area, we could like we can like kind of like represent and simulate the actual places in each of the location around the world, and this will give the players more perspective about things that they never know before. And also
so if we have say a shooting game, we can say a Google Earth location and then just go shoot there or something like that.
no, it will kind of be like the game where you like kind of like explore a game where you like go explore each places and also I will try incorporating like the news. Like if we see the news now today, we only see like one view, one perspective, and there's all kinds of like bias when you like write the comment and like try to influence the readers to think in some way. But if this game is like possible, I want to make it kind of like 3D and actually simulate like the real situation that is happening, so like the users can like see like the real information, not like the disinformation. And also like if possible, if like we could simulate like all the issues that we have, for example like the UN issues, all including all the life under below water, everything into the game to like allow the user, enable the user to like the players to see like to kind of like connect and to make them feel like accountable and aware of the problem that surround them. And this, I think it will like greatly increase their connection and their contribution to the society. And also like there might be like a connection between like a real world and the in the game one. Maybe like there might be a quest to do like, and by completing, but this will require a collaboration between like many parties. But yeah, if this possible, we could do kind of like do it completing quests, doing both the in-game quests and real-world quests, and the rewards earned could be a form of real money, or it could be
So
like some form. Yeah.
Very good. So I think what you have to do. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And so like kind of to wrap up, the benefits of this, it will strengthen like the connection of the people with the nature, and to like kind of add more perspective and the views that we wouldn't have know if we don't like go out of the place we usually like do. And so the end goal, it would make people connected and become more accountable to like to like the issues that are happening nowadays. And in the future we could connect like kind of like maybe like you run in a real life, and it could contribute to leveling up a character in the game, something like that. Yeah.
I think you have a collection of ideas that kind of like go together, but what you have to be careful is you have to have an organizing principle or a theme or a framework to hang all the components, right? So if you have like say 15 ideas and you don't have a organizing principle or a framework to hang them together, the picture will not become clear, right? So I think if you play your card right, plan your thought methodically and be very clear about the structure, about the architecture of your idea. You know, maybe you can even make this the core part of your 4-year project all the way up to your senior, right? because it's got a lot of elements, right? There's a bit of metaverse in there. There's a little bit of immersive experience, a bit of programming, a bit of solving sustainability challenges. There's an aspect of how human will co-evolve with technology. So if you play your card right, frame this in a cohesive way. Okay, in a cohesive way, you do well. Okay,ครับ. Okay, so who else? Nontagon, right? You're up, right?
Okay,ครับ. I'm still not sure about the technology I'm interested, but the topic is like about the mental health. This is the data I can find. It's the suicide rate in Thai from yes, and this is divided by the sex and divided by the age, and then it can separate from the symptoms that they have, or like the number of patients and OPD and IPD from a day.
Okay.
And it seems like there is some problems about the rate of patients and the and the rate that hospital.
Let me just move things quickly so we get to everyone. I think this something like looks like a very good project. However, it looks more like a big data analytics project. Okay, what you have to get in here is what area of emerging technologies. Okay, so say, to go back to your friend just a minute ago, right? He wants people to have connection to this immersive experience or whatever, right? So what are the technology? What kind of componentry do you need? Do you need metaverse? Do you need OSINT, that's online intelligence platform? Do you need machine learning to then simulate fake environment and make it look real? I don't know, AI, that sort of. So what kind of emerging technology area is needed to do this? Okay, whereas this looks more like a data analytics exercise. You see what I mean? And yeah, you can say that data science is an emerging technology, but it's the reason I don't cover it in this course is because, well, first of all, that's the bulk of what I'm doing, and it's no longer emerging technology. Okay, it has emerged. It has emerged. It's just almost a regular tool now. It's like statistics used to be 20 years ago. So in this case, it's not answering the objective of the exercise, which is how, which area of emerging technology you want to explore. Okay, so it's very good that you are motivated by, say, a very important problem like a suicide rate or something like that. But again, it still looks at the end of the day like a data analytics exercise. It's not going to say take you into a new, unless there's something about emerging technology in genetic science that has implication on suicide rate. I don't know. Okay.
I also found some existing technology like the application that can analyze a patient's voice, and then they analyze that are they have the emotional distress or not. But I think I will find more information about this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you get my point. Yeah. It's very good, and it could be like we, I was having discussion with last week on the capstone project. You can have a capstone project that's not, you can have a good project, it's not a good capstone project. Likewise, this could be a brilliant project for data analytics, but it's not about emerging technology yet. Okay, just think about it. But certainly get back to me if you like, and we can work on this together. Okay, ครับ
Thank you ครับ
พันพิชาครับ
So the project I want to do is about the bioinformation, because bioinformatics is a broad science research field that combines biology, computer science, data science, mathematics, and statistics to drive the analysis. why bioinformatics is so important to the current trend of the biology, because it's just not about producing a new data, because there's so much already exists, but data data is truly important because of the sharing resource of their requires, because it allows reproducibility, which is one of the strongest reasons for publishing scripts and pipeline properly. Because like, well, there is one thing that we can repeat it very hard if we cannot do it perfectly, especially the thing that needs really small details like sequencing enzymes or doing something like that. But the topic that I really interested is about using the bioinformatics in reducing the waste of like the problem of the waste management. So I researched, I'm gonna share the screen.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of papers that already exist about bioinformatics and engineering the bacteria to produce enzyme that can consume the waste, especially the microplastic. But there are some obstacles about that because the efficiency of it is not at the highest point that it can do. So there's so many things that they need to work on about this work, whether it's catalytics of it or even the resistance of the enzymes and the bacteria in very different places, especially the temperature, the humidities, or even the acidities, because they're gonna use in many places. Yeah, so I thought that bioinformatics in this about this topic is pretty one that I want to study more.
Okay,ครับ. Very good. But you know what? You are, I think you're a little bit beyond bioinformatics, actually. Okay. I think you are stepping very close to computational biology. Okay. They're kind of like the same area, the same people who does bioinformatics and computational biology. They're the same kind of people. Okay. Similar kind of people. But the difference is this: bioinformatics is sort of like making what you know in biology useful. Okay, so turning data into information, or turning information into application, or maybe even just to visualize and teach, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas computational biology is about using the power of computing or computer or AI to crack solution, to find solution, right? Mm-hmm. So it's sort of like a different way around. It's sort of like finding solution, using a computer to find solution in biology. That's computational biology, right? Once you found the solution, or you have information, or you have database, you use computer to leverage it. That's bioinformatics. Okay, they're both excellent way of looking at emerging technologies. But from listening to you, you are actually leaning more to a computational biology side. Yeah. In particular, there's a very interesting area, and see, I'm getting goosebumps whenever students touch on something exciting. This thing called enzyme optimization, right? Enzyme optimization is one of the, it's going to be a big area, okay? And basically, things that can happen in chemistry does not happen in real life, okay? It only happens because you have helpers, and those are the enzymes. Okay, it's a bit like matchmaking, right? A boy and a girl can fall in love. That's in theory, right? Mm-hmm. But until you have a way of meeting, boys never meet girl, right? That sort of thing. Enzyme is a little bit like that, and enzyme optimization is a new area. I'll tell you why it's a new area. Because in the old day, you discover enzyme that does the job. Okay. You discover enzyme, this enzyme does this job. You discover. You can't manipulate. But now the genetic engineering is so good at manipulating sequence to generate protein that makes this. So you can actually think of making things. Now you can say, let's make enzyme that does things you like. Okay. So enzyme optimization is a big emerging, definitely is an emerging technology within emerging technology. Okay, so it's emerging within emerging. So this will be very exciting. Yeah, enzyme optimization, and it happens in all sort of contexts. But certainly, yeah, you have, you know, that Japanese scientists discover bacteria that can eat plastic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's eating slowly, enzyme is like an appetite builder. Okay? How can we make it really hungry? Okay, that's
Yeah.
enzyme optimization. So the discovery is one thing. Yes, bacteria can eat plastic, but it's eating so slowly, it's not going to do it. To make it industrially workable, you need to have the enzymic mechanism to optimize. Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. Okay,ครับ
Thank you.
Okay,ครับ Shalaton, right? Oh, you did already. Oh, no, you haven't.
I have
Who hasn't?
me.
You're okay, because the screen shift a little. Okay,ครับ.
Yeah, so the topic that I choose is also about the blockchains. And the topic about blockchain is that I just see the potential. The reason I see this, I pick this topic is because I see like a potential growth of it, and especially in what it can be applied into DeFi or like decentralized finance. And I still doesn't have that much knowledge about decentralized finance, but I see that it can be really interesting that if we can apply this knowledge into our upcoming like trends, because now I heard people talk a lot about like metaverse or about like decentralized finance and like how to like not make things corrupt, and like things are like really centralized right now and it should be decentralized. So I think that I would need like more research and like to discover a lot more thing and get like better understanding of the topic of decentralized finance and what it can be applied to. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Now, you guys you remember the lecture I gave about Bitcoin and blockchain, right? Now, I think the flavor I'm getting from you is replicating the monetary system. Okay, let me separate two words: finance and money. They're actually related, but they're different things. Okay, if you're talking about having money that operates within the metaverse, it's about engineering a monetary system in the metaverse. Okay, the keyword is monetary, not financial. In terms of financial, think of finance. Okay, money is a very immediate thing. It buys things, but it also stores value. Okay, but it is about transaction. Okay, it's about transaction. If you use money to buy things, you're transacting. If you're saving the money so that you can buy things in the future, it's still future transaction. Finance is a little bit different. Finance is not just about money. It's about mobilizing capital. Okay, financing is using money as input to produce something. Think of it that way. Okay, financing, you use money. So when you get a finance, okay, that's the word for it, right? You get a car finance, you go to a bank, you get a business loan, that's a finance. That money becomes an input. You convert that input into a truck. You use that truck to operate your business, make money. Okay, so money becomes an input, like a resource. That's finance. So if you're gonna talk finance, chances are you can't stick with just cryptocurrency. You have to get to smart contract. In other words, Bitcoin's not good enough. You have to go to Ethereum and variation thereof. You see what I mean? So if you talk about finance, so I think when you say finance, you probably meant monetary. Okay, monetary. So I didn't go that deeply into the difference, but I think you're trying to say the monetary equivalent in the metaverse. Okay, which is fine. Okay, it's more like yeah, it's more like the underlying story is equipping metaverse with capability, and one of the capability is to grow trees. One of the capability is to be able to have coffee with your friends. One of the capability is to be able to transact, and that's where cryptocurrency in metaverse comes in. Okay, but it's still not financing unless you literally create some kind of smart contract that would allow somebody in the metaverse to borrow money to buy a truck in the metaverse to, you know, run a business or something. Okay, so think about it. Be very clear about what you want to do. But yeah, you're on. Okay, Kushi, you did that already. Very good. Piranut, I think you're the last guy, right? Piranut or Piranut?
Piranat ครับ
Okay, Piranut. Yeah, Piranut sounds a bit like a girl. Okay, Piranut, you're up. I can't see your face, so yeah. Emerging technology for aging society. Wow. Okay.
Yes, so I'm interested about emerging technology for aging society. First of all, the prediction said that in the next 30 years, the percentage of world population over 65 years old will be double. And the researcher found that 43% of senior will feel lonely, and half of them have a greater risk of death. So I think this is a serious problem. And how could technology solve this problem? I'm thinking about using virtual reality to keep them feeling like they are a part of community.
Okay.
So the solution is making a social VR world to keep elders engaged with the community via the internet, and they can also roaming through the virtual world with friends instead of living alone at home. And here are the benefits of the solution. It can keep them mentally sharp, avoid this depression, and stay in touch with friends. Yes, so in the conclusion, to solve loneliness in elders, we could use virtual reality to connect them to the community, and even though they may not able to leave home often, but they can still feel involved with and be a part of the community.
Okay, excellent. So more like a VR, right? In VR into okay.
Yeah.
Is this gonna touch on the metaverse construct? I'm not pushing metaverse, by the way, but you know, certainly that's one of the things you can explore.
Could you say it again? I just
are you talking about just strictly the VR, the VR technology, and immersive interface, man-machine interface, or are you actually thinking to touch on like metaverse? Okay, the difference between the metaverse and the VR per se is that one is to VR and enhanced reality, right? ER, enhanced reality, and virtual reality. That's about you, but you and computational information or computer generated image information and so forth. But there's no avatar. There's no mini you running around doing stuff. Okay, so metaverse sort of like adds that dimension to it. Are you touching on that as well, or do you think you want your grannies to be running in the metaverse as well, or is this just VR, ER for now?
In my opinion, it's more like metaverse.
Okay. So the grannies can sort of like go to a park with the children or something like that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Metaverse again. I'm not covering metaverse in the class, but it could be, you know, maybe next year I would have to. It's one of the emerging area, and I would put it under, you know, the hype behind metaverse. But I just give you a one word for it. What it is. First of all, you can think of it as a platform, and it's nothing new. The reason it's gained a lot of publicity is simply a matter of money. Okay, metaverse actually has been around for a long time. You guys play in a virtual POV games with your friends. That's already, you know, and you have little you running around shooting people. That's already metaverse. There's a lot of metaverse going on. Okay, even transaction, fake money, exchanging widget, all stuff have been around. The big deal is that because Facebook has a lot of money. That's it. That's simply that. Okay. So Facebook has a lot of money, and if they're gonna take over if they're getting into metaverse, are they gonna take over the metaverse? And so it's become more like economic, political issue type of thing, right? But the technology, I don't think, you know, Microsoft is not an innovator in the metaverse space, not yet anyway. I don't think. Okay, there's a lot of component that now what's going to happen? What's going to happen is. And this is the classic story that's been happening for a long time. All the component technology will be bought up. Okay, so if you think about it, if there's a startup company that is very good at a different kind of immersive VR, okay, then, you know, Facebook or Meta is going to buy it. That's basically the impact of what's happening with Meta. But the metaverse itself, the technology itself, we haven't seen anything beyond the technology set that's available to gamers. Okay, the big news is about financing. The big news is about people. Some guy with lots of money is getting into game. That's all. Okay. Okay, so but it's a good time as any to get into the metaverse proper as a study. Okay, Kap. So very good. I think you guys are very, very, very bright and picking up on ideas. And if you play your cards right, like I said, some of the things that you conceive right now may be a jigsaw, a major part, or maybe the core part of your senior project even. And even your own startup at some point. Okay, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. You know, if I have an idea of making something, okay, I go to an engineering school, and then once I finish, I start making that stuff. Well, with Basai, it's sort of like you start to play with the idea, with the preliminary in your year one. And what's good about that is because that means that you are never too slow to take up the technology, right? You're not waiting in 4 years to become an expert in robotics to get into robotics. You're getting into robotics right now when you barely know anything about robotics. You see what I mean? That's a whole principle of getting you to have this kind of project. See, yeah, nobody, you know, to be honest, among the faculty, we are not counting on your project seat in year one to make money in year 4. That's not, you know, that may happen. Okay, that may happen occasionally, but that's not what we hope. What we hope is that you start to play, get a real-time experience with turning ideas into prototype, turning prototype into products, that sort of thing. Okay, it's a very experiential way of doing things. Okay, so that's what we want. So if you play a card right, some of the ideas here, you know, whatever, you know, something about enzyme optimization or something with the metaverse can be definitely something that is your main baby, okay? Or it could just be just a term project, okay? It's okay either way. It's okay either way. Okay, Kap? So with that, I think next week, I want you guys to log in 5 minutes before class, okay? Because we have external speaker, okay? Dr. Tana, he's actually, he's not, you know, he's not from his background is chemical engineering. Obviously, PTT-EP employs a lot of chemical engineers. I think his Ph.D. was in chemical engineering, but I think he used some machine learning in it. And eventually, when they want to get into this, what's called AI ventures, the most notable thing you guys have seen is when they have this drone, the national holidays drones. That's him. That's the same guy. Okay, he runs like a club. So it starts out as a robotic clubs within PTT-EP, and then they spin off and so forth. So it's a very good case of how technology spin off. Okay, and so you can think of it as a startup, but it's not a startup by a bunch of guys. It's startup that start out as a club inside a big corporation. Okay, so innovation doesn't have to come from startup. And to be honest with you, most of the successful startup came from guys who spent maybe at least 10 years with a big corporation. You know why that is? You know why that is? Because startup will fail. If you start out as startup when you graduate from Basai, you bear the cost of failing. If you graduate from Basai, you work for a big company. Big company bear the cost of failing until you become really good in your 30s. Then you break out and then make your own startup. So that's why a lot of startups that are really successful, unless it's something, you know, very marketing kind of a fashion thing, are from guys who've spent, you know, maybe 5-10 years in a big pharma, or in a big genetic lab, or in a big university doing a postdoc. Okay, postdoc is like PhD student, but doesn't have to teach, or maybe that doesn't have to publish books or something. Okay, but it's a bit like lecturer. So you can do postdoc for 5 years until your experiment fails and succeed and fail and succeed, and succeed and fail a couple of times. Then you get really good at, and then you're into your 30s. Then you break out and you make your own startup. Okay. So that happens a lot. So don't be too quick. Don't be too eager to have your startup on day one after you finish Basai. Oh, anyway, I've got a call. So that's it. We kind of run out of time anyway. So very good. I think you guys are pretty bright. Okay. I kind of think you are a little bit inactive in class discussion. So I was under the impression that you guys are not getting anything. but from listening today, I think I'm getting a lot of sign of you know, good ideas. So that's very good. That's very good. Okay, Kap? Okay. So in 2 weeks time, we'll have a proper project workshop. Okay. Chances are we're not going to meet in person anyway. Okay. So it's going to be like this, but more extended, more prepared. So you should be like almost halfway into your project, and your friend should be able to critique your presentation. Okay. So when Kushi is talking, maybe Pan Picha would ask some question, not just me. Okay. So that would be the experience. And it would be the whole 3 hours devoted to all your projects. Okay. If that class works out right, I would say very little. I'll just be sitting there smiling, hopefully. Okay. Okay, Kap. Well done. Good job. Good job. Okay. Well done. I'll see you guys. Well, next week I'll be here, but I won't say much. Dr. Thana will be speaking. Okay, Kap. So give him the courtesy and say, Sawadee Kap, Dr. Thana. You know, Malaya Thai, just because you're speaking English, that doesn't mean you have to throw away Thai manners. Okay. In fact, that's one of the key success factor is if you have the Thai manners with perfect English, you go very far. Okay. So Dr. Thanam comes and you say, Sawadee Kap, Sawadee Ka, you know, but then you speak perfect English. That's good. Okay, Kap. So I'll see you guys next week. Okay. Okay, Kap.นัดก็โอเคอันนี้เราก็อัดไว้แต่เราก็ส่งให้พี่เดี๋ยวอยู่ก็ใช้เกรดใช้อะไรแต่ว่าอาจจะไม่ต้องขึ้น YouTube unless you guys want me to, that's fine. Okay. Okay, Kap. I'll see you guys next week and the week after and so forth. Okay, สวัสดีครับ
Thank you.
สวัสดีครับ โชคดีครับ take care, be safe